family, how you guys doing today? Out here, and today we're gonna super duper deep clean this computer. Let's get this done. This computer here has been with me since a very long time. It is the second build that I've built, and I'm going to repurpose it. Now, it's been sitting on a shelf for a better part of, I don't know, 5-6 years, just accumulating a whole bunch of dust. And my plan for this PC is to repurpose it and to build a NAS out of it. It has one of AMD's first hex cores, a 6-core processor, the Phantom 2. I want to say the 1055T. And that should be plenty enough power for a NAS. If it's not, then we'll just upgrade at that point. But I don't want to see this hardware go to waste, and recycle, reuse, repurpose is the way to go. As we can see here, you know, some of the window cutouts, and I'll show in a little bit how much dust is in here. Ooh. It has like a copper cooler, which I think is a Zalvo cooler, and copper don't look copper. So I want to show you guys how to super clean this PC, where we're not only removing dust, we're also going to remove a lot of oxidation that is on the metal itself. So everything's going to look super shiny, and you shouldn't have any connectivity issue, which is what we want. So let's just go over kind of the plan of what we're going to do with this. Most other videos out there show you how to just remove the dust, clean it really good. Some people are crazy enough to go and spray it with water. Yes, you can clean it that way, but that's really, you gotta know what you're doing, and you gotta dry it really well. And by adding water to this, now you're just gonna introduce further oxidation, and a whole bunch of rust is gonna happen. Basic oxidation is rust. That'll just degrade your hardware even further. Yes, it's gonna look clean and shiny, but if it's not done properly and it's not done quick enough, it's just gonna ruin your hardware in the long run. So we're gonna use manual cleaning, and we're gonna use special chemical cleaning. So it's gonna be a fun video. So let's get this done. And before we continue, if you guys enjoy this type of content, smash the subscribe button. In spirit of the holidays, I'd like to announce a giveaway. Shout out to Latifa for sending me out an amazing smart door lock. It is a super versatile with multiple ways of opening the lock. It really is a top-notch product. In order to win this amazing lock, here's a few things I would like you to do. Subscribe to my channel, watch, like, and comment on this video. Go follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Handles are in the description below. And on my latest post, like, comment, and tag 4 friends. This way it enters you into our giveaway. And may the odds be in your favor. So let's smash that subscribe. And links for all the products I will use will be in the description below. Alright, so let's take a look inside of this PC. Man, this is my very first case I've ever built in. Antec 300. And as you can see, I did give it a nice paint job, a custom paint job. One of my first builds that I actually customized myself. Did cut out a lot of the stuff and put a window in it, but then, you know, the window cracked. So we just ended up using some PVC board and some glass from an old chandelier as cutouts. Look at all this dust in here. There's even cobwebs in here. Just to illustrate how much dust there is. Yeah, that's a lot of dust in there. So I did have a graphic card in here. I believe it was an old 6870. But I did take out because I had to test a software out that needed AMD. This is it. It has an old school AMD Crossfire SLI support in there. Some dominators. And look at that. Look at all that dust in the fan blades. This is going to need a miracle right here. But don't you worry, I'll be able to get this done nicely. I was going to plan on dismantling it over here, but just the amount of dust. So we're going to have to go to the basement and clean this whole thing out. It's just so much dust. Can't have this, can't be breathing this in here now, can we? Alright, so let's relocate and start the cleaning process. Alright guys, relocated to the basement, and we have everything we need here to start cleaning. We got the computer here, we got our tools, everything we need to dismantle this PC apart. We have our mechanical means of cleaning, brush, Swiffer, and this thin nozzle extension for our vacuum, so we can vacuum everything up. We got our compressed air, very important. And lastly, our main means of cleaning everything out, our CRC electronic cleaner. Alright, so first thing I want to do, since there's so much dust in there, I don't want to start blowing stuff away, I want to start vacuuming. But since the area is so constricted inside, I think we should dismantle the computer first, and then vacuum, and then brush everything off as much as we can. Try to vacuum one more time, hit it with a little bit of air, get it as clean as we can, and then we're gonna hit it with some of this chemical cleaner. Remember guys, and I'll have this reminder again later on, this is extremely flammable. Make sure it dries completely. Let me say that again. Make sure it dries completely. Otherwise, you turn it on, catches fire, and your PC just gone. And we don't want that. So I recommend make sure it dries. Alright, so let's dismantle. A little tip here. I'm gonna do it when it's back down. This way if any dust comes on, it just stays inside here instead of just moves around. There's plenty of space for it to just stay in there instead of just blowing your face. So many cobwebs. Good old Corsair Dominators. Alright, so we now dismantled everything, and now it's time to vacuum up all this dust. Just vacuuming this, you can see such a huge difference, but we're not done yet. Let's move this to the side here. Let's take care of that really dusty cooler right here. We got a lot of the dust, but let's just agitate all this dust one more time, and then I'm going to vacuum it again. Alright, so we just vacuum everything to the best ability that we can. And let's go through an inventory of what we have. We have a MSI 980A motherboard. This was a pretty beefy motherboard back in the day. It does support Crossfire and SLI. Yeah, I really like this motherboard. CPU, we have an AMD Phenom 2. I believe it's the Hex Core 1055T. Well, I think it is a 1055T. We have a Hitachi 500 gig hard drive, a Thermaltake 850 watt semi-modular PSU. I probably will not be using it for this build just because it's modular. I do have a 750 watt Corsair power supply. No, it's not modular, but for this build you really don't need a modular power supply. We have an Asus N-Drop wireless adapter. Probably not going to be using this. I'm just going to be hardwiring in via Ethernet. Our Zalman cooler. Might have to use a different cooler. It might not fit in the case the way I want it to fit. 8 gigs of Corsair RAM. I'm going to be upgrading to 16 gigs. I will not be using those RAM sticks. Whole bunch of fans. And a fan controller, which is cool. And a case speaker. They really don't offer these anymore. Our MSI connector. Alright, so cleaning up this power supply. I'm going to do something that I normally do not do, is opening up the power supply shroud and cleaning it from the inside. Only reason why I'm considering about doing that is it's been off for probably 3-4 years and whatever power in here is probably gone by now. So, wish me luck! Yes, I just voided a warranty on a power supply that doesn't have warranty. Look at all that dust that's in here. Look at all that dust. We're just going to go ahead and... Apparently spiders were living in here. Fan nice and clean. Alright, so we just finished cleaning out the power supply unit. It wasn't that bad of a process. Normally, I would not do this, such a deep cleaning to it, especially if it's been turned on recently. You know, but this has been off for a while, so took the risk. But be careful. So this is an 850 watt power supply, and at 69 amps, that really, you know, just be careful. Be careful. That's all I gotta say. And guys, all links for all products will be in the description below. So normally, I would just, you know, at this point here, most of the dust is out, I will just go ahead and start cleaning with the chemical. But the next step we're going to do is we are going to brush all the components. Whew, that's a lot of brushing. So let's get to brushing. I'm going to start off with, the small stuff just to get things out of the way, and then get to the motherboard. Just brush, brush, brush. And then we can press there. Rinse and repeat. From here, all the crevices. And I believe this fan, if you put enough force to it, it should start lining up. And there you guys have it, a nicely dusted motherboard. Whew, alright, let's move on to that CPU cooler, that dreaded CPU cooler. And what I'm going to do, just to make my life a little bit easier, I'm going to move the fan. And we got the whole assembly out. I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of air. It's been cleaned, been hit with air, but never been brushed like this. Alright, so let's just put this down and just brush away. Ooh, this looks so much better. And after we hit it with some of that what I'm going to use, I think we're going to bring this back to basically brand new. Alright, so we just finished dusting and brushing off all of the dust from all of our components. Now, at this point, if you guys want to, y'all can slap it together and you go ahead and use your computer. But I want to take it one level deeper, and I'm going to show you guys how to use this electrical parts cleaner. I've done this before, and it brought the hardware back to basically brand new looking. Remove all dirt, grime, oxidation, everything from it. So let's get this done. This is gonna be pretty fun. But in order to do that, we have to prep the motherboard and the other electronics that we're gonna use this on, because it will dissolve all of the thermal pads and everything. And we want to replace the thermal pads, so we're gonna go take everything off and start cleaning with this. So now we want to take off this huge heat sink over here. So let's flip it to the back, and we got these screws over here. We're just gonna take them off. Also, you want to go and remove any of these stickers. I mean, a lot of these stickers are just they're just gonna dissolve off, so whatever. Unless you care about them, which I really don't, but that's fine. Now let's go and take these off. Whew. Yep, we definitely want to replace all of these because we just ripped them off and they shouldn't be like this hard. It is brittle. I mean, it should come off easily, not like this. These thermal pads have basically disintegrated. They lost elasticity, they lost everything. They're just crumbling. Let's see if we get Coworks IPA on them. Maybe we can get them to move. If not, they're going to just dissolve in the cleaner, so I'm not too worried about it. We got off the cooler, our north and south ridge cooler. Next thing you want to remove is the CMOS battery because we don't want it to catch fire. And lastly, we can just keep the CPU in here, so I'll just pop that out. And be careful not to bend any of the pins. And if you want to, you can always remove the bracket. I don't see no need to remove the bracket. And there we go. We are now ready to start chemical cleaning of this motherboard. And the CPU cooler as well. One thing I recommend, put gloves on. You don't want to get this stuff on your hands. Especially if you got cuts and stuff, it's going to burn. And yeah, this stuff is just not meant to go on humans. Next step, make sure you're in a well-ventilated room, a large room with a lot of air in it. This way you can minimize the amount of fumes you breathe. And lastly, you need a nice bucket. So let's get that bucket and let's get to work. Make sure you shake, 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 shake. Get the part that you want to clean. Put it in the bucket. There's the motherboard. Let's see how this will work for this one here. Now this stuff here really works. I mean, it looks a little bit wet because it is wet, but that stuff just made this Zalmo cooler really cold. That water started to condensate on it. This motherboard one last wash. You see all that rust, all that green rust from the copper just washed right off. Alright, now we just let it dry. And I recommend, we dry for at least an hour. Preferably, if you can do it like overnight, so like 100% you're sure that everything here is dry. Definitely hit it with compressed air, especially if you're gonna just wait about 30 minutes to an hour. If you do it overnight, you don't really have to, but I will still do it. Better be safe than sorry. So let's let this dry and we'll come back, we'll slap it back together. Alright, so now it's been a little bit more than 12 hours since we cleaned the motherboard with the CRC cleaner. Now, it should be completely dry. However, I don't want to take that chance. So, we'll use some compressed air and just hit everywhere with it. Try to get it as dry as possible. Now back here we got some little residue left over. Bound to happen. So we'll just use some IPA, some isopropyl alcohol, and just work it in. I'm just gonna put a little IPA on the brush. Agitate everything here. Looks like there's some kind of residue left over, and I don't want that here. Last thing I need this motherboard to short. Use the napkin to absorb everything. Alright, this is as clean as this is going to get. Aside from buying a new one. This is how it's gonna look like. And it looks completely better than before. So now let's clean up the south bridge, the north bridge, and our power regulators. This way we can put back our beefy cooler right here. A little IPA and a napkin. And that looks so much better right now. So yeah, a little more IPA and another napkin. And let's clean off all the mating surfaces here in our cooler. Alright, so let's put some brand new thermal pad on here. And we're gonna have to cut it to size. But we can just go ahead and start lining it up. And we'll use this X-Acto knife set right here. Be extra careful. This knife is extremely sharp. Alright, let's install it. Installation is reverse of this assembly. And the north and south bridge cooler is installed. Let's put a CMOS battery, but before, let's just give it a little polish with some IPA. Let's put back the CPU in, this way we don't lose it. It's in and none of the pins will get bent either. And let's wipe down the CPU one last time, get rid of any of the grime. Let's put this back here so we don't lose it. And our K speaker, I believe it goes right here. And the motherboard is done. Now I want to give this fan one last kind of a clean, wipe everything down. Let's put back this almond cooler together. So we have to dismantle the fan a little bit further just to get it to work. There it is, it's all installed. Now you can keep the fans looking like this, or you can just wipe it down with some IPA and you get them even looking better. So let's do that. And there you guys have it. That's how you deep clean a PC. It's not that bad of a process. So first thing you want to do, you want to get rid of as much dust as you can with a vacuum. And then you want to go in with a brush and some compressed air. At that point, you guys can stop and slap the computer back together. You'll be good to go. You can go another step deeper and you can use a CRC electronics part cleaner. This way it will strip down any rust, oxidation, any kind of baked on dust particles, everything. As you can see, it cleaned the motherboard beautifully. And then afterwards, replace thermal compound, replace thermal pads, and slap everything together. And there you guys have it. We have just finished cleaning up the PC. The second part should be coming out soon, where we are going to build the NAS, so stay tuned for that. And links to all products that I've used will be in the description below. If you guys enjoyed this content, smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notified when I release my next video. If you guys have a question, a comment, or want to say hello, drop it in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.